Yo dudes, what's up? This is Planet Keith. I am Keith, and today it's episode 12A of the talky, bloggy, vloggy thing. Yes, I'm not suspicious. Unusually, Monday, nothing ever happens on Monday, except this time it did. It had been a cold, miserable, rainy day. Mrs. Planet had been having a hard time at work, so all she wanted was comfort, a drink, a meal, prepared instantly and not by me. She persuaded me to take us to Wetherspoons. Now, if you follow me, you'll know that I sort of took a vow to not go to any Wetherspoons ever again because of the attitude of the owner, who is a complete and utter. I gave in, we went, and it was all socially distanced and la-li-la, you know, do the check-in thing. So we both had curries, because that's what you do when you go to Wetherspoons. No. And then toodled off home. On Tuesday, I don't know why, I woke up at 5 o'clock. Well, I know why I woke up at 5 o'clock, but I couldn't get back to sleep after. So I started work, edited last week's edition of this, and then shot 2 videos back to back, started editing that, and then at 5 p.m, it was a football match, Euros 2020, England versus Germany. Now, if you're not English, you may not be aware that a certain segment of our wonderful English society, you know, the right-wing football thugs who have an absolute obsession, and it's whipped up by the right-wing tabloid press, an absolute obsession with the relationship between England and Germany, which admittedly didn't get off well in the early part of the 20th century. 2 world wars, 1 World Cup. 1966, England beat Germany, West Germany as it was, and won the World Cup. First and only time ever so far. And since then, there have been a few clashes in major tournaments where Germany always wins. Plus, there's the thing about Germans on holiday in Spain. Always, they sort of get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, put a towel on a sun lounger and then go back to bed. And Brits are too lazy to do that, so we always complain, or they always complain, about towels on the sun loungers, reserving them for the Germans. There you go, I digress. We won. Yes, indeedy. And it wasn't even 1-0, it was 2-0. Two entire goals for England against Germany. How about that? Amazing, amazing stuff. Right, Wednesday, we've been trying to get to see my sister in Withensea in East Yorkshire for about 18 months, really. Now it's actually possible, so I called her and we arranged it for the weekend, just gone. So that's actually quite exciting. Looking forward to that. Thursday, Mrs. Planet's phone went ping, as it does when it gets a text message, which it had got from NHS Test and Trace. It says, self-isolate 8 days. Now, you're supposed to self-isolate for 10 days, which means that the date of the alleged contact with somebody who's got COVID was Monday, the day we went to Wetherspoons. I didn't get one because I don't use that app. I don't use that app because I don't want to support the idea that an app and a simple process could possibly cost £84 billion over 2 years. You're kidding me. That is just, it's a complete and utter rip-off. Anyway, so if you don't want to use the app, you can fill in a piece of paper. I did. I put it in the box, and one day, in the far distant future, I'm sure I'll get a text from Wetherspoons saying, oh, you should have been self-isolating. All right. So with Mrs. Planet self-isolating, obviously she can't leave the house, certainly can't go to Withensea, so we had to cancel that and postpone it till the following weekend, if we're clear. Okay, Friday, more football. 2 quarterfinals. I've never actually done this before, but I watched 2 games of football back to back, and they're both very exciting, gripping. There was Belgium versus Italy. Italy the favourites, and they won 2-1. And Spain versus Switzerland, which actually went to extra time and then penalties, and Spain won 3-1 with the penalties. Spain really should have just slaughtered Switzerland, but they didn't. Okay, Saturday came. I was going to cook, well, I was cooking the breakfast. Sourdough crumpets, those fish things, kippers, some lettuce from the garden, and a tomato from the tomato plant that's on the windowsill in one of the bedrooms. And I just had a complete disaster. You know, I mean, I make the odd mistake on my cooking videos, but this, I've never been involved in anything like it in my life. It's absolute catastrophe. The crumpets stuck like stucky things, despite me having oiled the pan, and the pan that I always use and always works. And I was doing eggs as well to go with it. So mine is poached. That's fairly, no, it's okay. And a fried egg, a smashed fried egg for Mrs. Planet in a little pan beside it. But when I went to get one egg and dropped it on the floor. So I got another egg, broke it into the pan, and that was cooking away. Meanwhile, I was trying to loosen the crumpets with a spatula, and, you know, and knocked the frying pan right to the edge of the cooker, and I just caught it, which I shouldn't have done because it was hot, but stopped it going on the floor. And in the end, I just wailing for help from Mrs. Planet to sort out these crumpets, and yeah, it couldn't be done. They were stuck like glue, so we ended up with toast. Fun. Also on Saturday, we did COVID tests. I picked up 2 packs, 7 days supply each, or 7 doses, which, well, they said you do it twice a week, so that's about a month's worth. From the pharmacy, free, the lateral flow tests, and I don't know if you've ever had one of these. It's horrible. You have to stick this, well, essentially a cotton bud up your nose, no, swab your nostrils. What are they called, those things at the back of your mouth? Tonsils. 4 times on each one. And if you can do that without gagging and, you know, regurgitating your breakfast, you're a better man than me. And then 10 times in your nostrils. Flipping heck. And it's nasty. And then you dip it in this little bit of chemical that they give you, and then you drop it onto a test strip, which in 20 to 30 minutes will reveal a stripe or not. If you get a stripe, you're done. You're positive. If you don't, you're negative. So we're both negative for that one, which is good. Okay, something else happened on Saturday. Oh yeah, it's a football match. England versus Ukraine. England won 4-0. And it was a spectacular and amazing game of football. And I think we're pretty confident with the semi-finals and the final being held at Wembley, England. We will have a bit of a home advantage. We're going to win this. Prediction. Don't quote me on that. And then Sunday, literally a washout. It was rain, and I just had no energy. You know, bad case of CBA. Mrs. Planet decided to dismantle the spare bed to get more room in the spare bedroom, and so it was an IKEA bed. We've had it about 10 years. These are all the fixings from it. So, you know, being a bit of a hoarder, I'll keep those. I'll never use them. There's screws and dowels and wheelie things and all sorts in there. They'll stay there, forgotten, unloved, unused. But I'm keeping them anyway, because that's what you do. So that was my very exciting week. I hope you enjoyed knowing all about it. And I hope you come back next week to get some more. Tra.